Now at 10.
I'm not going to lose my career for kicking in a door under these circumstances.
An update to a story we first brought you last month. A 2-year-old locked inside a West Haven apartment for hours. A look at the police body cam footage and how the sheriff's office is responding. Plus, To Ukraine with Love, a benefit dinner in Salt Lake City tonight, a way people can help support those affected by the war. And 2 of the 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico found dead, while the other 2 have been found alive. The latest details and what officials in Washington are saying.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Welcome to ABC4 News at 10. I'm Glenn Mills.
And I'm Emily Flores. We thank you for joining us. Tonight, an update to a story we first brought you last month. A 2-year-old locked inside of a West Haven apartment all alone for hours. The child's parents say they could not get responding deputies to help. Tonight, we get a look at the body camera footage from that night.
I cannot go breaking your door. I can get my butt sued for that.
That's what deputies told Caitlin Burchell while responding to her apartment that night. The security footage showing her 2-year-old inside alone. She says she and her husband stepped outside and got locked out. She called 911 in a panic, and when Weber County Sheriff deputy arrived, they refused to help the couple break in their door, saying the child was not in imminent danger. Well, after 3 hours, the couple broke a window to get in. After reviewing the body cam footage, the sheriff's office saying the deputies should have done more to help. They've even updated their policy and added consent forms to use in similar situations.
Just hope that they stick with the consent form and that parents or people that go through a situation like this won't have to deal with what we had to deal with.
Burchell goes on to say that she was surprised the sheriff's office released the body cam footage and hopes this situation doesn't happen to anyone else.
We're getting a first-hand look at police responding to a big fire in Sandy. Sandy officers in the area say they saw smoke billowing out of the Liberty Heights apartments early Sunday morning. They sped to the scene, going door to door, evacuating residents.
Is there anybody else? Get out. Go. Go. There's a fire. Get out. Go. Go. Guy on the bottom. Get out.
The officer you just heard from was able to go home uninjured. The officer with her went to the hospital after inhaling too much smoke. You can see why. According to police, a woman lighting what she calls a tree of life started that blaze, throwing alcohol on the flames to, quote, burn away her sadness and pain. There were no serious injuries, but some of the apartment units are unlivable. The state of Connecticut suing a Utah gun company for allegedly mailing gun parts with no serial number to an undercover state investigator there. Ghost guns are legal here in Utah, but illegal in Connecticut. The Attorney General there is accusing AR Industries in Orem of violating state consumer protection laws. Connecticut also suing 3 other gun companies in Florida and North Carolina for the same reason. The Attorney General saying ghost guns are a threat to public safety. We did reach out to AR Industries in Orem, but have not heard back.
And many cities speaking out against the passing of House Bill 374 that would remove the Unified Police Department. Sponsors, supporters, I should say, of the bill say the old system forced the Salt Lake County Sheriff, who is also the sheriff of the Salt Lake Sheriff's Office, to use UPD for county-wide services and in turn take away her policing power. Well, those opposed to the bill, though, including many of the cities this directly impacts, say this puts them in a tough situation.
This bill puts our officers and our communities in a 2-year limbo. We are, as much as our board, and I know that myself and our council, we're going to do everything we can to minimize any public safety impacts. The reality is that we are likely going to see them.
If Governor Cox signs the bill, UPD won't be dissolved until 2025 to give those communities it currently serves time to establish a new system.
Turning now to a first look at the weather forecast and kind of a calm day throughout the state today.
A beautiful day today, and now we have some activity on the way, right, Alana?
Yes, we do. I hope you enjoyed the brief break we're going to see because another system will impact us. But we start tonight with the last full moon of the winter season. Great shot from Scott Taylor. Look at that. La Bella Luna, really good one there. Meg Roberts caught the clouds pushing in this evening. Wonderful sunset here. Thanks, Meg, for sending that our way. We see the pop of color, but the clouds saying, hey, we've got changes, and that's the case as a quick-moving system will impact us. Below average statewide with that colder air, and another cold front will open the door for another blast of cold air. Logan's only 10 degrees. Ooh, freezing in Ogden. Salt Lake dropping below freezing, 33 in Provo, and 40s at this hour in St. George. So it is going to be another cold start to the day. Chilly conditions with our next system on the way. A lot of our systems coming from this area in the Pacific Northwest, that area of low pressure, kind of sending disturbances through Utah. There's that cloud cover. You notice it out there tonight. This next system's on the move, and it does bring the potential for accumulating snow for portions of the state. So we're tracking it and what to expect coming up here in just a few moments. As we take a look at the March precipitation calendar, you can see an active start to the month. And yes, with our active skies, as we get through the next couple of days, we are going to see more wet weather moving in. A change in the pattern late week. I'll break it down coming up in just a few. Glenn, Emily, over to you.
Lana, thank you. With all the snow we've had this winter, state and local leaders now preparing for the potential of flooding this spring and hoping you at home will follow that lead. Wade Matthews with Utah Division of Emergency Management saying they're gearing up for potential floods and are working with counties and cities to make plans ahead of time. Saying if there are floods this year, it will come down to how fast or slow the snow melts. And although it can happen anywhere, there has been snow. Some areas where wildfires left behind burn scars are at higher risk. But he's encouraging everyone to be proactive.
The conditions are right. The concern is we don't know if it's going to flood, and if so, when or where. So the important thing is that we're all working towards mitigating and preparing for flooding.
Now, he's also encouraging people to check their emergency plans to make sure they have all the supplies they need and to make sure to be ready to evacuate if needed.
Well, tonight the West Side Coalition is calling on the Salt Lake City Council to halt development on a new warehouse area near the Salt Lake City Airport. It's called the North Point Small Area Plan. They say the development will harm existing homeowners and have a negative impact on the surrounding wetlands and wildlife. People for the development plan say if they want to build commercial buildings on their property, they should be allowed.
So these new warehouses will just bring in more diesel trucks. Diesel exhaust the most polluting. It'll wreck the lifestyle of the residents.
Dude, you should have bought in a real neighborhood, not in a piece of garbage neighborhood way out west. So I'm all for going commercial.
A petition against the district has more than 1,500 signatures.
New attend the organization To Ukraine with Love hosting a benefit dinner and program called The Taste of Ukraine tonight in Salt Lake City. Organized by Ukrainian American Svetlana Miller, To Ukraine with Love is currently one of the most recognized humanitarian organizations in Ukraine, providing over $2.2 million in consistent relief and aid, with a great deal of support coming from right here in Utah. The organization, run by volunteers in the U.S., and all donations go directly to providing relief and employment in Ukraine.
1 year into this war, the Ukrainian people aren't asking anyone to step in and fight on their behalf. They've proven that they understand full well that freedom isn't free, and they're willing to make sacrifices and fight for as long as it takes. But they need our help to last a little bit longer. The mission of our charity is to help the Ukrainians outlast their invaders.
If you would like to help out, you can make a small donation or a monthly pledge at the website that we have right there at the bottom of the screen.
All right, coming up, 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico, 2 found alive, 2 others found dead. More on the details and what Washington is doing about it.
And federal officials investigating a growing number of air travel incidents, from near misses, aborted takeoffs, and unruly passengers, all keeping travelers on edge.
And the view from Flaming Gorge. Oh, isn't that pretty? The snow on the Red Rock there and the northeastern corner of the state staying chilly. Vernal hit 33, Manila only at 20. Below average temps. When we can expect those numbers to rebound, and we're tracking snow in Utah's Most Accurate.